Hey, you're right. As you know, we've been working on equations, and today we're going to be working on a certain way to solve equations, which is called backtracking. So this is slightly different to the other ways that we've done so far, but it's another way that you can use to solve those equations. So what you'll see here is this is the worksheet that you're going to be working on today, and there's a few little puzzles on here that we're going to be doing, and I'm going to show you a couple as examples so you guys can fill them out yourselves. So let's just work on this one to start with. What you'll see is there's a heap of different boxes. Now what's supposed to happen here is that the top box is supposed to be equal to the bottom, top's equal to the bottom, etc. We're going to use these boxes to come up with equations and then hopefully solve them. So we need to start in this spot here where we have the x. Now what this is telling us to do here is divide by 5. So if we do x divided by 5, it should look like that. Now that's the way I want you to show divided by. Rather than using this symbol here, we're going to turn them into fractions just like that. Okay, so we've gone from x, it's told us to divide by 5, and this is our result. Can you see the next thing it's telling us to do is add 6? So that's what I'm going to do in this next box. So x divided by 5 plus 6. Now what we have over here is we've kind of set up our equation. Do you remember how I said that the top is supposed to be equal to the bottom of these boxes? So the equation that we have here, I might write it down the bottom, is x divided by 5 plus 6 is equal to 9. And we're going to be trying to solve for this x when we go back this way. You see how the arrows are pointing that way now? Now what you might notice is that what happens up the top here is the opposite to what's happening down the bottom, which is something that we spoke about the other day, and when we were balancing equations we were using that too. So if we want to get back over here and work out what x equals, we're going to need to start with 9 and take 6 away, because that's the opposite to up there. So 9 minus 6 is 3. Awesome. See how now it's telling us to times 5? So 3 times 5 is 15. Now remember, the top is equal to the bottom, so we've just actually solved it through backtracking. So we could say that our answer is x equals 15. Okay, now let's just make sure that we're right here. So if we make x 15, I'm going to do that over here. So you see how I've changed x to 15? So 15 divided by 5 would be 3. So you see how it's 3 plus 6, that equals 9. See how that works? Awesome, so we got it right. So some of these ones are a little bit harder. Let's try E first. So you might have noticed with the first one that we had a lot of these things filled in. So let's look over here. We had these filled in. But if we look down at this one here, do you see how there's spots where nothing's filled in? So the puzzle's going to have a couple of extra things in there. But we do see that we've been given this though. Okay, so we've been given the equation at the end. So I'm just going to write that down. So 4 times x minus 1 is equal to minus 24. There we go. Now, it's given us this, so let's go from here to over here. So that's going to be x minus 1. Excellent. But can we see that nothing's been put in there? So let's fill this spot in. In order to get from here to here, it looks like we have to times the whole thing by 4. So I can put in there times 4. Now, to get back and work out what x is, we're going to have to do the opposite to each of these things. So the opposite to minus 1 is plus 1. And the opposite to the opposite to times 4 is divided by 4. Cool. So let's see if we can get from here over to here and solve what x is. So minus 24 divided by 4 is going to be minus 6. Minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. So our solution will be x equals minus 5. And we're done. I'm just going to check to make sure that that works though, like we did with the other one. So if I put minus 5 into where x is, it should be equal on both sides. So 4 minus 5 minus 1 is minus 24. Okay, so we need to do the brackets first. So minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6. So that gives us 4 times minus 6 equals minus 24. Now, 4 times minus 6 is minus 24. It works. We were right. Okay. Now, as I said before, I want you guys to be going through this whole worksheet, but I'm going to show you the next page. Now, do you see with these ones how there's lots and lots of blank spaces, but it has given us a bit of extra info. It's told us the equation just up here. So what we can actually do is fill out these end spots. So remember, this section would go up the top here, so 2x plus 1 would go in here, and that's equal to 13. That 13 would go down here. So what we need to do is work out how to get from here to here, and then once we've done that, we're going to be able to go from here over to here. Alright, so to get from x to 2x plus 1, I think the first thing I'm going to need to do is times by 2. And the reason I do that is because it gives me 2x. Alright, now I want to get from here to here. And hopefully you can see that all we need to do is add 1. There we go. And now that we've filled these spots out, we need to do the opposite down the bottom to get backwards, to go backwards. So the opposite to plus 1 is minus 1. The opposite to times 2 is divided by 2. Cool, so now we can work out our numbers. 13 minus 1 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we now know that x equals 6. Cool. Alright guys, so go through the worksheet that you've got attached to today's lesson, and if you've got any questions or run into any problems, let me know. Thanks guys.